up to a higher time frame, I'm probably guessing we were sat on a big demand zone, which is why a big supply zone, which is why the demand zones don't work so well. They do work, as you can see. We had the reaction. Let's have a look. We had a reaction from 90 to 99. That's 9 pips. Okay, I'm already at break even at 5 pips, so that's a winner. It's another winner. Looks like a clear loser to your naked eye, but it's a winner. Okay. No extension. Do you wait for a reaction like a pin bar or outside bar before entering trade? I'm at a point now, Omar, where I can place a preset order with confidence. Okay, once I've done my fib levels and I've done my demand and supply levels, I can enter a trade at a preset order with no problems at all. What we're trying to trade is the reaction. If you look at this one I was just explaining to you, Omar, this turned into a pin bar. Do you see this? This one turned into a pin bar. Some people would have gone long there. They would have gone long, wouldn't they? Because there's a pin bar pointing to the up. And those people trading those pin bars, what would they be? They would be a loser. And what would I be? I'd be the winner. I'd have my 5 pips. I'd have me stop at break even. I would have taken some pips out of that. Those pin bar traders, they're getting in too late. They're getting in way too late. They would have been a loser on that one. They would have been a loser by a lot. I hope that cleared it up for you, Omar. Let's have a look. Any more questions that I missed? Question: where is the stop for a losing trade? The other side of the zone. UK day trader from Brum. Lovely, from Brum. Before I answer your question, are you a blue nose or are you a villain? Neither. Okay. You don't like football, UK day trader. United. Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. As long as you're not, if you were a Birmingham City fan, I would not answer you. No, I would really. Not that bad. Stop. Yeah. Stop loss, for example, on this trade here, would be a nice clearance of the zone. Okay. A few pips below it. So it's 85. I'll put them at around 83.5. Just here. Do you see that? That would be my stop loss. Should support Bristol City. Nah, I might. Okay. 5 pips. My entry would have been here. 5 pips would have been here. Okay. That's 5 pips in the profit at that red line. That's where I'd move my stop loss to break even. Okay. And then price moved above it a little bit. So I would have been out of there at break even and took a little bit off the table for a few pips. So that's a winning trade. Looks like a clear loser. It looks like price smashed through it. But if you look closer at the chart, it didn't. It did exactly as I expected, right dead on the money. I can't mark the zone to the money any clearer than that. That touched the zone to absolute perfection right there. That pin bar. Okay. Yeah. So that's a stop loss question answered. Lovely jubbly. Sometimes I place a stop loss on the other side of a fib zone, and if I've got demand zones on top of demand zones, I won't place a stop loss. I'll look for a reaction in the second demand zone, and if I get a reaction, then I'm still in the trade. If there's no reaction, I'll pull out. Okay? Because demand zones on top of demand zones, it is probability. Your probability is higher. When you have a chance, could you go over another example of using a set of fibs? Yeah. Jay. Most trades I'm going to explain. I'll always be placing a fib on them at least to get a clear A clear thingy. Don't know what I'm talking about there. Dean, can you go over the top and bottom of a supply and demand zone? How do you determine the thickness? I apologise if you answered this before. No problem. I did answer it further on, earlier on. But here's the answer. Right. Most of my zones, this demand zone is your last. Oh bloody hell! Let me turn chart shift off. Forgot the markets have opened already. Not chart shift. No, I want chart shift on. No, auto scroll. That's what I don't want on. Right. How I determine the thickness of it is the last sellers is where I'm looking where the sellers last failed. Where did the sellers fail before buyers completely took over? And it was this candle. That's where the sellers failed before price shot away. Okay. The top of the zone on a demand is the body of the wick. The body of the candle, not the wick. The body. It's the body. Okay, ignore the wick. The wick, however, on the bottom of the zone, you take in. That's where the other side of the zone is. So up here, your supply, obviously the other way round. You reverse it. So your bottom of your zone on the supply would be the body of where buyers last failed. At the bottom of it here, and the top of it would be the top of the wick here. Okay. Sometimes, if it's not clear, you can move down a time zone to try and find the last failure. Okay, this is 1 minute. Okay, look at how messy 1 minute is. Very messy. Go up to 5 minute. When you go up to 5 minute, how far back did I go? August? What am I doing in August? When you go back to 5 minute, look how cleaner it is. Here, got another zone here. Becomes a lot cleaner. UK cool? Has that answered the question? Flip GG. Flip GG, are you in the room? Are you in the room, Flip GG? From my Skype. Your name on Skype is Flip GG. Sorry guys, just answering questions on Skype. Are you shorting the New Zealander? No, Bomi Sanjana. Yeah, I can read you. No, I'm not. I'm not shorting. I'm not shorting or longing anything yet. Too early. Too early. Way too early. I let the session. I let the session get into flow a bit, so I can find out where the buyers and the sellers are, where the zones are, where the supply and demand is. I let that happen first. We can't trade anything yet until they create the zones for us. I'm not going to use the zones from last week because obviously weekend's gone, people change their orders, banks are closed, banks are open, etc., etc. Flip, come in, come into the room so I can talk to you. It's easier. Proof. Do you pay attention to pivot points? Pivot points are created by supply and demand, so subconsciously, yes, yes. A pivot point will be created by a new form of supply or a new form of demand, and if you trade into that supply and demand, you're basically trading what people call a pivot point. As I said, supply and demand will create the pivot point. That they will create the pivot point. When the buyers take over from the old sellers and they overpower them, there becomes a new pivot point. I don't, that's what creates the pivot point anyway. Enter. What about numbers and psychological numbers? Retail traders use psychological numbers. To be fair, if I mark a supply zone and it falls on a round number like the 00 or the 50, not so much the 25s or the 75s. 00 or 50 just adds more confidence. It just adds more confidence because then more people would be willing to sell up there if it falls on one of them areas. All these things is what adds to the train, makes the train move. I'm still here, people, don't panic. We've got someone in Skype. I don't know what they're trying to say. They're trying to say to me, have to show you guys proof. I mean, I can show you my account and my balance. It's only going to be $1,200. You know, I was brought up in a working class family. I don't have funds like a lot of these traders do. I do not have $50,000. It's as simple as that. I had $500. I had $500, and that's what I put into my account. I'm not going to make a full-time living off trading with $500, am I? That is now sat, as you can see here. That is now sat at 1,126. Okay. I can't trade full-time off that, so I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna come. I'm not gonna come to you guys and say that I've worked for Barclays and I've worked on trading floors, or I'm a university graduate. It's just no point in that crap. I'm just an average, everyday, working class person who just has a bit of a passion for the old forex and has fallen upon something which has doubled my money in the past couple of months. I just wanna share it. I enjoy the attention. Money will come, of course it will. If someone can give me $50,000 right now, okay, I would quit my job and I'd be trading full time. I can tell you that now. But I don't. I have just over $1,100, $1,200. Okay, I can't trade full time off that. You guys know that. So I'm hoping you guys find that a bit more reassuring. I don't know if you people have been in other rooms, and you go in the rooms and they're always going on about, I've worked on the Chicago mercantile floor doing this. I was in London working for Barclays on the trading floor. All this crap. I'll tell you what to do, blah 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 blah. If they were doing that, they'd still be there. Trust me, they would still be there. They wouldn't be on Forex Factory trying to explain stuff. Trust me. Okay. I've got five GCSEs, all at C grade. I'm not super brainy. You don't need to be super brainy to see supply and demand. You'd have to be a very, very dull person to not see a supply and demand in a chart, I'll tell you. And I'm quite dull sometimes. I think there is someone in here recording it, as far as I'm aware. I hope they are. Someone mailed from Forex Factory said they were going to record it. Make much more money spread betting. Faisal's already getting to the action there, look. He's already off and away telling people that it's not a fresh zone. Good lad. What other indicators am I using besides fibs? Nothing. Nothing. The charts you see are how I trade. How many trades a day in a week? How many trades a day in a week? However many the market wants to give me. I don't go into the market and say I'm going to do 10 trades today. You know, here comes one of my crappy analogies. Okay, but you're not going to walk into a shop and you want five chocolate bars and they've only got 4 left, but you want 5. You're only going to get 4. Okay. Crap on it. You're only going to get 4 chocolate bars. The shop doesn't have 5 chocolate bars. Okay, the market's going to give me 8 trades this evening, right? I'm not quoting that. I'm just an example. The market wants to give me 8 trades. Okay, so I'll take 8 trades. If it wants to give me 6, I'll take 6. These people go, I'm going to do 10 trades today. You know, aiming. They got targets. It's nice to have a target, but don't see it in that way, because you're trying to take from the market. Then you don't want to take from the market. You want to receive. And receiving is when the market gives to you. Hopefully. Yes, Jack, well done. Double your account every 3 months or so, and in a year or 2 you have a very good account balance. Well, Mark, that is my aim. That is my aim. Of course it is, you know. Definitely. Why not? markets have opened. Let the Asians decide where they want to gear. Everyone's typing on Skype. If you, Jack, if you're typing on Skype, please, so I don't have to keep flicking across. Do you want to type in the room when you want to ask a question? Die now, day trainer. That's it. When to mark the body, when to mark the wick. Try to demonstrate about the point. They think you're trying to sell stuff. Ah, yeah, true blue. A lot of people, yeah, think you're trying to sell stuff. Farana, give me. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not a very good marketer, so I don't think I'd be able to sell what I'm doing. One person did email me and give me an idea that would make everybody happy. I'm a bit worried about it because as soon as this happens, everybody thinks I'm trying to make money. But you know, he said to me, "You get people, you know, obviously prove yourself in the room, which I've been doing, blah 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 blah." And because I got a small trading account, the way to make it bigger, is to every time I do an all-day session, which is 5 days a week, I get up at 11 a.m. and I trade all 3 sessions. It's just to simply charge each member $5 per day into the room, and you make that back on one trade. That's not something obviously I've took up. That was just an idea someone lay across to me. Simply because if you did that, you know, 10 people, I can put $50 into my own trading account and build it up so I can trade full time. I'm not trying to make money, I'm just trying to get to a point where I could trade full time. It's a good idea, but obviously that will make me look bad and look like I'm trying to sell something. Anybody got any questions at the moment while we're waiting for Asia to tell us where she wants to go? When you get a chance, could you please explain how to trade a gap? Where do we put the rectangles? I watched Samsung's video on that, but I'm still not clear. How to trade gaps? I don't trade gaps as a set priority. I only trade gaps. I only look at gaps like when I'm in a trade and I see a gap in the direction that my trade wants to go. You know, it just adds a little bit more confidence. I've never really touched gaps simply because they can be filled in a couple of hours of market open, or they won't be filled for a week or two. And you know, they're just too unreliable. Some people see a gap. I mean, this gap here is only a small gap. It's already been filled. Okay. Let's just have a look at euro dollar. Let's see where we are with euro dollar. This gap, see this gap? It's already been filled. So, gap's already been filled on euro dollar, so there's no worries about that gap now. The gap's here. The gap started here. It's pretty much hit the gap now. When you prove yourself here long enough, the offers and the money will come. Maybe, Bernie. If you look at your left, the level's not... Oh, there's questions in between people. Winnet Trading from London. Give me 1 second and I'll get that for you. There it is. Has anybody got any more questions? I shouldn't really show you guys this, okay? I wouldn't really show you guys this, but yeah, this is my live trading account, okay? This is my live trading account. That's my balance. 1126, right? As you can see, September the 11th here. That was my balance. Okay, 1002. So in less than 2 weeks, I've done, less than 2 weeks I've done close on 10 or just over 10% of my account. People beg for that kind of percentage increase in a month. You know. Nice win here. These red ones, okay, they're not losses, they're just interest payments, okay? Some trades are on it and you have to pay interest on. Because that euro Australian dollar trade, it's not a loss, that's just the interest on what I made here. $13. $13 on one trade in that small account. Not to be laughed at. Sorry, let me just go up the questions. I keep forgetting that I ask about questions. Just wondering, perhaps trading the London Open and New York Open will give opportunities as the big boys start then. Yeah, yeah. Of course the big boys come in at London and New York, but they will create the zones. We can't get in on the creation of the zones, obviously. Otherwise, we'd all be millionaires tomorrow. Okay, we've got the banks and the institutions and the big boys will create the zones. They don't care because they have the money to move the market. We don't. As retail traders, we don't have the money to move the market. So we wait for them to put their money and their orders in. Then we will see with the candlesticks and where price has moved and surged away from zones, we will see where they've put the orders and where they've moved the market, and we'll be able to trade on the orders that didn't get filled. Pip 26, what risk do you take? What risk do I take? Percentage. My risk is on a percentage basis. If I'm trading off the daily chart, supply and demand, my risk will be 2% of my account. If I'm trading the 5-minute charts, obviously the 5-minute charts are less reliable, still profitable but less reliable. I trade at 0.5% per trade of my total account. So if it hits my stop loss, it will be 0.5% of my account that I lose, which is between $5 and $6 at the moment. Do I trade mainly smaller time frames? No, yeah, no, no, and yes. I look at daily all the time. I'm in a weekly actually. M5 is M5 is something I trade during the day to keep me active, keep some money flowing in. I'll check the daily charts once every few hours or so, see where price is, see if it's approaching a zone. Wait for the opportunity. So I don't trade mainly smaller time frames, no. No problem. No problem. Jack, type it. Don't forget to type it in the room because I don't see Skype. I can't keep flicking across to Skype. If you type that question in the room, Jack, I'll be able to answer it. What is my average stop loss on the daily time frame? My average stop loss will be anything from 50, 60 pips up to 150, 200 pips. Okay, I don't remember. I work on the risk of my account. I don't do a dollar per pip. I work on risk on account. So my daily trade, each pip will be worth a lot less than it would be on a 5-minute trade. No, I, I, I will win at trading. Are you using zones from the previous day too? Um, the zones are they're always active until they've been breached. Until price has broken through it, then it's still active. I will delete the blue box. Believe it or not, guys, I actually, when I'm trading for myself, I don't even place the blue boxes. I've got to a point now where I can eye it. I can eyeball the demand zone. I don't even need the box. I can just put my order in, and I can see the demand zone with my plain eyes. It gets that easy after a while. New Zealand dollar news in 4 minutes. Let's have a look. Right, it's be interesting. I don't. If you have any question on news, guys, I don't trade around news. News break zones like there's no tomorrow. Simply because the orders, the sales and the buys are just put out of whack because of news trading. So I don't trade during news or before news. I let it settle. Okay, I leave that to the news traders. I know some news traders make money. Fair play to them, but I'm not a news trader. I will not risk the volatility during news. It's interesting. Let's put some zones on the chart. Let's just have a look what we got. Just see if. Uh, uh, let's have a look. It's be interesting to watch New Zealand dollar news in a minute. Win it trading. Did you hear the answer to my question about using zones from previous day? Price keeps making a new swing low. Well, it hasn't made a swing yet, but I have to adjust the fib every time it moves it. Got a nice 50 zone at the moment running through here. Euro yen. Let's have a look. What time frame you looking at? Has that news come out for New Zealand? Let me have a look. News not out yet. Whoa. Forecast Forecast trade balance minus 315 million. The actual was minus 641 million. Um, Not a lot of reaction. Not a lot of reaction there. Conrad, what time frame was you looking at on the euro yen? Daily. Uh, in a is euro yen in a supply zone? No, no, definitely not. No, euro yen at the moment, in my eyes, is in a nowhere because it needs to create some new zones for me because it's in uncharted territory. It's in territory it's never been in before. So I couldn't trade daily off that one at the moment. I could only really trade the 5 minutes on euro yen. Uh, got a nice 61.8 running through here. Interesting zone to watch. Headlines. Daily cable demand zone. Mez from UK. The cable is a believe it or not is in a weekly demand zone. I've been watching cable on the weekly for quite a while, and it's profited very nicely on the weekly chart. Is there another zone at the 50% Fibbo? Um, it's a, it's a hard one to adjust because there wasn't really the sellers. Your zone would look huge. See this last sellers. The the candle's huge. It's That's why if you look at the 1 minute or not, because the chart likes to mess up until it's moved off. Um, when you get something like that, okay, where you can't identify the demand zone very clearly, move down a time frame, and you'll find that you'll be able to find the demand or supply zone a lot easier. Move back up to 5 minutes, and you'll find that it'll be a lot easier to identify. no problem. We've got a trader last week actually. I told him to move down to 1 minute. I showed him my zone because he couldn't figure it out in the 5 minute because it happened too fast. It went up and straight down. As fast as the green candles went up, the red candles come down. Moved down to the 1 minute time frame. Looked at it in a bit more detail, dissected it a little bit, marked the zone, come back up to 5 minutes. 25 minutes, half an hour later, traded short from it, made some good profits. So if you can't identify a zone, move down a time frame so you can see, because the imbalance obviously happened faster. Here, the imbalance happened faster. It moved down and shot up. It moved down and it shot up. The imbalance happened a lot faster. So we'd have to go into the 1 minute for that. But when the market's open and create a gap on the 1 minute, this is what your chart will look like. It will look messed up. $30. Oh yeah, I know you can scroll the screen. But obviously our analysis is in this area, and I'm only going to be able to get this area up if I scroll the screen on the 1 minute. So look, facial took 3497 on euro dollar. Someone just took a trade. 3497. Yeah, excellent trade. Well done. Wouldn't have been a trade I would have took because it's a second touch into the zone, but it still played out very nicely. Plus 50% level. I got 38.2 in there. You talking about these swing? Ah, yeah, nice trade, nice trade, nice trade. Anybody watching, face sell, just took a lovely trade on euro dollar. Bought here, 34.97, now trading at 35.12. Beautiful, absolutely wonderful trade. Well done. Nice to see people trading like that. Demand zone here, surge out of price. This is the first touch. This is where I would have entered and been long. I don't tend to trade second touches, but second touches do generally work, but at a lot less chance. I did a fib retracement from here to here, and I got a 38.2 level here, okay? Did another fib retracement from this swing low to this swing high up here. I got a 50 that ran virtually dead on, as close as you can get, into the zone and on the 50 zone. Now that is a certain buy. I mean, that's actually the first trade here. That's right off the fib levels. That's right dead on the money. If people, this is magic that I'm showing you right now. This is the magic. Okay, you got two fib zones off two swings, running straight through the demand zone. You can't ask for much more. I think is there maybe a intersecting trend line in there as well? Could be, yeah. Yeah, we've got a touch here. We've got a touch here. Got touches there. Nearly touch here. And this is where the touch was off the trade. So you've got a trend line running through with the two fib levels and the demand zone. So this would have been the priority trade here. If you went long here, you're 100%. I can guarantee that you're going to win. You're going to win all day long, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. You're going to win that trade, no problems. Is everybody watching this? What I'm showing you now? Yes, good, excellent. Can you see? Can you see the magic of it when everything intersects? You took it, did you? Excellent, excellent, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. If I zoom in, got an intersecting trend line. I use trend line, guys. It's not an indicator. Trend lines are supply and demand moving up over time. Okay. See this? Look at this. Look at that. You've got two fib levels running through the demand zone. You've got your trend line coming up. So right there, right on that X here is where I would have bought. Right there. Trend line, two fibs, demand zone, wallop. No problems. Make me rich. Make me rich. Thank you very much. Comrade, go up to insert and click on shapes and rectangle. Did anybody else take that trade on euro dollar? I've got two traders who took that. Well done. Yes, Mez. Have a good night's sleep. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. I work nights, so I'm not tired at the moment, so I can stay up. Guys, this really is some magic. Really is some magic. That there is what you're looking for. When stuff like that happens, you've got a surefire trade. Which Richard, are you on about this zone that I've got now? Here. Yeah, no problem. On a demand, we're looking for the last sellers. Okay, the last sellers on a demand, because we want to know when they were cancelled out, when they were overridden. Okay, which was this candle here. This is the last bunch of sellers here, right? You take it from the body. When you on a demand, it's the top of the body and the lower of the wick. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. Now although this second touch did work out, okay, this second touch here did work out, no problems, no problems. You should have had some profits by now, because price is coming back down, so you should have some profits by now. You can see price entered the zone here, and it was a buy. But price come into the zone by quite a bit, so it filled quite a lot of orders, hence the big gap up in price. Second time it enters, it's going to be less reliable, okay, because More buy orders have been filled. More buy orders have been filled. It's common sense. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand that. But obviously, when it reached the bottom of the zone, it received quite a lot of buyers. And look at that wick. You would have been. That's a 5 minute chart, so you would have been in the plus within the 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, you would have been in the profit. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you, pips in my pie. I'm going to eat the pips tonight. Dean, I see you use Oanda. There is a free feature that shows where Oanda's clients' limit orders are placed. Of course, it only shows. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, I don't. I used to look at that. Not no more. I remember. It's money that moves the market, not the amount of people. Money moves the market. Okay. This is what this is what I actually have at the moment. I've got an order book. I've actually got an order book. This shows me where all the buyers and sellers are. It's not cheating. No. It's about. I think it's about $400 to $1,000 a month. There's a lot more buyers in euro dollar. A lot more buyers down here. A lot more buyers than there are sellers. Did anybody take the third touch? Did anybody take the third touch? Live trade going on here, guys. Did anybody take the third touch off the fib? We're at 96. We're trading at 35. Trading at 35. Should be at break even. 01. That's 5 pips. Should be at break even. Should be at break even. Don't enter the trade now. It's too late. I did have the chart up and the analysis. Look at this. It's bouncing off the demand zone. Always a reaction. Always a reaction. Entry should have been on the fib. Should have been on the fib like 5. We're up at 02. Plus 7 pips. Break even. Take 5 off the table. Take 5 off the table. Take 5 off the table. Wallop. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Take 5 off the table. I'm trading this live, guys. I'm trading this live. 03. We're moving up. 97 entry. 95. Up at 02. Up at 02. Plus 6. Plus 7. Plus 6.5. Plus 6.5. Plus 5. Plus 4.8. Plus 4.8. We're in there. I'm still in there. Stop at break even. I stop at break even. I've took money off the table. It's a good trade here. I don't usually take the third touch, but I wanted to show you guys live commentary. Yeah, Darryl, I don't usually take the third touch. I've gone in at very, very small lots. I just wanted to show you how I'm handling it, live. I've got the chart loaded up on my laptop here. I did take a few off on my platform on the laptop, but obviously on my main computer is where I've got the actual order loaded up, ready to take quick profits and move stop loss quickly if I need to. Okay, floating up at 35. Nice big round number. Got a nice big demand zone right below the round number, which is nice. Already made profits on this one. That's bad luck, Esmond. It happens. Just move on. Look for the next one. Floating at 35.01. 35.02. 35.02. I'm up 7 pips. Up 7 pips. 6.8, 6.8, 6.6, 6.5, 6.5. 6.9, 7, 6.8, 6.6, 6.8, 6.6, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. There we go. There we go. Nice move up. 502, lovely. Plus 7.5. Plus 7.5. Back down to plus 6.8, 6.7. Plus 6.7, plus 6.7, plus 6.6. 6.6, 6.6, 6.5, 6.6. 6.6. The order book's a private. It's a private program. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like I'm one, doesn't it? So, I hope you haven't sold. Right on. Oh, there we go. Coming back down. Wish this white box would go away. I'm still in there. Still in there. Plus 3. Plus 2. Plus 2 were 1.5. Plus 1.5. Plus 1.4. Plus 1.5. Plus 1.6. Plus 1.5. And I'm stopped. Stopped at break even. I took 4.9 pips out of that one. 4.9 pips for me. Easy trade. Stopped at break even. Demand zone's been breached. Demand zone's been breached. When this happens, we delete. That's that. Right in front of your eyes. It wasn't a swing, but as I said, we're not looking for swings. We're just looking for the reaction. We got the reaction. Looks like a loser. Looks like a loser now, doesn't it? Everybody tell me, does that look like a loser now to you? It looks like a loser, doesn't it? Looks like a loser. As you can see clearly, as I was auctioning it, as someone said, I took 4.9 pips. 4.9 pips out of that one for me. Yeah, pip 26, yeah, definitely. I don't take the third touch because obviously the buyers are a lot less, hence why it's been broken now. I did want to try and get in on a trade quickly to show you guys, you know, run through it, up, down, when I move and stop the break even, because I've got a lot of new people in the room. Pretty confident it was going to be a winner. It was on the trend line, it was still coming up, there was a lot of buyers still left in there because of the long wick on the other candle. But again, I do not trade deferred touch as a rule. I did that one as an example. Very small lots. Very small lots. It was probably a fucking, I think it was about 2 or 3 cents a pip. Was it each pip on that to me was 2 or 3 cents? That's how small. But I just wanted to show an example. 20 or 30 good setups each day. Plenty of setups each day. You sit in front of your computer, you'll see them all day long. All day long. Now let's have a look. Let's have a look at some sellers in the market on the euro dollar. Okay. Let's have a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar sellers. Demand zone. Supply zone. Sorry. Got a supply zone formed here. Okay. Now, is another thing. Okay, because the zones are never going to be perfect, right? Because the candlesticks only show a certain amount of time. That candlestick there is too small. I would not put a zone on that. That's too small. Way too small. My zone would be like a couple of pips. It's not even barely enough room for the spread to fill in. So I would try and take the last candle before that. That candle's not good enough. So it would be that candle there. Okay? That would be the supply zone. Now we want price to come away from it for a while. You know, we don't want it to come straight back up. I'm looking for price to go away from it here, maybe come back up as it hits the bottom trend line here, and that should mix in with the supply zone. Let's have a look. Fib level. I can't do fib level really yet because we haven't created the swing low. Do have a 50 running straight through it here, and we have a 61.8 set on top of it to the pip, to the absolute pip. So if that is the swing low, this is the fib study for that supply zone. I've marked that out. Do not blame me if you miss it. I'm not like some other rooms where I go, I've sold, I've bought, I've sold, I've bought. Okay, because I'm not very good at too much information. I have my account loaded up on my other computer, and if I see it's approaching the zone, I will be focused on my account. Once I'm in the trade, I'll start commenting on it, no problem. But once I'm trying to enter it or enter my order, I will I'll be fully focused on my account. You know, I don't mean to be selfish, but at the end of the day, I'm trying to build my account up like you guys. And I don't want to so much be a signal service. I don't want to be known as a signal service, because people rely too much on signals, and you'll never get anywhere trading yourself. You know, when I mark out the zones and mark out the fib studies, then you can see the magic, and then you can start doing it yourself. Pip 26 is starting to be one of my little undergraduates who did quite a few trades on his own when I first started the room, and I think he made, what was it, Pip 26 that you made on the second day? I think you said you did 109 pips trading what I shown you. Am I correct in saying that? Plus 100. Okay, sorry, I do apologise. Pip 26 did 139 pips. Now, I think some of you guys would love to have 139 pips in one day, wouldn't you? Everybody give me a yee-haw if 139 pips in one day is good for you. Euro dollar short. 135.08. Good area. Good area. Nearly on the fib. Nearly on the fib. Plus 10 to plus 15. If price does move up, I want to look for a slight more move down before we get a move up into the supply zone. Although the 15 and 61.8 are sat on it, I'd like a move to come down to here again, and then maybe up a bit, and maybe here, and then I'd want it to come up to the zone. Okay, I want this zone to mature. I want all people to see this, and more people to put their orders in, giving me a more chance of a win. Okay. 2 seconds, guys. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just I'm just. At the end of the day, I'm male. I can't do 2 things at once. So bear with me for a second. I can't. I don't remember what I was trying to do in the first place now. Now I tried to tell you that I wasn't trying to do 2 things at once. I can't remember what I was doing in the first place. Free pick up load is what I was trying to do. Image shack. That's what I wanted to be. Alright, sorry, I'm back. Where's the next demand zone? Kneepad from Scotland wants to know where the next demand zone is. I bet you do. um. Then, the next demand zone, I mean, obviously would be here. Now price is moving up. It hasn't moved away enough, enough away to be a zone, and this candle was too big. There's too many sellers here for this to be a zone. So I wouldn't have a demand zone marked at the moment. I got rid of that bloody white box in the corner. The price is coming back to the supply zone a bit too early for me. We are getting a reaction.